All right, guys. Welcome to episode 4 of Ask the Stories, where we jump on here and we answer questions that we otherwise have come across over the maybe this last week, a couple weeks ago. Just once a week, jump on, answer questions about real estate, buying, selling, selling your home, buying a home. Could even be some business stuff, so maybe investments and as far as real estate too. So today's Misty's turn. Every day we alternate, or every time we alternate. Misty may ask a question, and I ask a question next time. Today's Misty's turn. So what do we do? What's the question today? I don't know what it is, by the way. I never know. So
we got this one fairly recently from a friend of ours. They asked, would you buy a house that's located right by the railroad tracks?
Just a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And the answer is, it depends. So that's a personal preference. I think that depends on the person. My mom would be hell no. She would never buy a house by railroad tracks. She hates the train. But some people don't mind that. I know that we walked into a house years ago, many years ago, and we were like, man, it was beautiful. I don't know if you remember this one, but it was by a railroad track. It was in a newer development. It was actually over there by it's Crowley. The subdivision name. It's off of. Come on, help me out. You know that the subdivision breaks off. It's two sides. It's
Main Street. By Main Street?
No. Cross the highway. There's a Taco Bell. Come on.
I can't think.
Sydney Pointer's over there. It's a Sydney Pointer neighborhood. Anyhow, you know what I'm talking about?
Like Reisinger and then that road.
It's Reisinger and the next road. But then when you go in the subdivision, there's the
Cleburne.
It's not Cleburne.
Well, it's close to Cleburne. Cleburne's back there.
The street Cleburne?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, anyhow, it was a beautiful house. And we were looking for rental or were we looking for ourselves? It was a long time ago. But it was pretty. Anyhow, it was a nice house right by a railroad track. And the first thing I remember walking in, we were like, oh, dear. It's by a railroad track. For some people, that's a deal killer. For others, it's not. I would buy a railroad track if it was a rental. That's me. Would you? You?
Yeah.
But if I was living there, I wouldn't. Typically, houses that have a little less value on a broad scale is going to be a home that's on a very busy street, like the corner street, one that a car's going to run into. We've seen that. We know someone whose their house was off of 1187, and they would always have. They're renting this house, but they would always have a car every once in a while.
Come to the front yard.
Come to the front yard. Hit the front yard. And they were used to it. I remember driving by one day, and they're out there like helping the people out. Like, I was like, is that your first? No, this is not my first time. Like, that wasn't their first time. They haven't. But, some people may not live on a busy road, but those particular individuals are fine with that. They're renting that house. So I think that comes down to the individual. But usually homes, my answer to that would be typically homes that are right by a railroad track. I'm talking like backyard railroad track. And then homes that are on a very, very busy street are usually not as, I wouldn't say undervalued, or I wouldn't say not as valued, but they're less desirable. Mm-hmm. What would you say to that?
They might sit a little longer or have to take a little bit off the top.
Yeah. It's going to take the right person.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But people also get used to a lot of things. I mean, even our own personal home, we live across from a motocross and down the street from a gun range. And so we hear things all the time. But after a while, you tend to not hear it anymore.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I hear the motocross going. And I probably hear it more often. I probably actually hear it more often than I think. Or less often than I think it's going on. It's probably going on a lot more often than I realize. And then the gun range, I hear it pop off every once in a while. So I think it's a personal preference, but I definitely, if you were selling it, there might be, if you're like, hey, I'm ready to sell this home, I think there's probably more of a chance that you might agree, take it off the top, or might sit a little bit longer. But that's just it. You know, it's just kind of what happens to it. So this individual was asking, and they were purchasing it. They were purchasing a rental property, and we were like, hell yeah, all day long. If you don't want it, I'll take it. But and of course they ended up getting it. I think it was a good deal from what we know. But if you're going to sell your home, just know it might take a little longer. So anything you want to add to that? Cool. All right. Anyhow, that is Ask the Stories, guys. If you have questions, man, throw it in the comments, send us a question, and then we might actually answer it. You know, whether, you know, about selling a house, buying a house, renting a house, by the way. We know a lot about that. Or even just, you know, basic real estate investment stuff. So we are realtors. We do own our own brokerage, and this is what we do. So